All four of you have been very successful, and what sort of advice would you give to someone? I'm from a small market, and a lot of the types of comedy just aren't done, but nothing really, you know, a lot of the stuff I'm thinking of doing isn't all that risky, but it's never been heard in that sort of market. So how do you sort of ease people into it, getting used to it, and how do you comfort a PD or a GM or an owner who isn't quite used to it?
I think you got to ease into it. If I think back to those early days, because PGs and owners, they don't want anybody to do bits at their station. Makes it hard to control. They'd rather have you just come in, play the records, read the liners, out. And so as you gently ease your own stuff into it, it makes them nervous. So I think the key word is gently, but persistently nonetheless. And if you have to, just get an all-night show and do whatever the hell you want and hope they're all asleep, and you make some great tapes. And then you can call some guy far away and say, here's what I'm doing, it's really big, listen to this, whoa! So,
how come there are no time checks on that tape?
Right, but you gotta do it. Gently, slowly, determinedly.
Also, if you're talking about doing humorous bits, the first thing should be, does it make you laugh? If you get a charge out of it and it's creative, do it. And maybe you have to ease into it, but do it. And you have to have enough confidence that other people will get it. If you're good, people will listen. And it might take a while for them to get used to you, but if you're good, they'll find you. But don't let all the managers beat you down so much that you give up. In fact, I'd recommend be arrogant. And by that, I mean, say yes sir to the manager, and as you walk away, you say to yourself, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and I'm still going to be a star on radio, and you do what you want to do.
I had a program director in Baton Rouge when I was working there, and every time I'd do a funny line, he'd come in the control room like 10 seconds later, because his office was right around the corner, and he'd go, Ross, was that a weenie? Because the Electric Weenie was his humor service at the time, and there was, you know, and that's the only one he knew that he figured I had to have been getting the funny lines from that. So every other time I'd do a line, it was, Ross, was that a weenie? He said, I don't want any more than 4 weenies an hour. And then the next week after that, it was, I don't want any more than 3 weenies an hour. And finally, I left the station because I just couldn't take it. And he wasn't into the, you know, into the act. He wasn't into me doing it. So I left, went across the street and met Brian.